Hey guys, Brian delivered you the goods here. I'm returning to you again today for the top 10 best albums of 2019. So I'm going to discuss my top 10 from 10 to 1 and let you know why I put them in that place or whatever. So let's dive into this video. At number 10, we have Avril Lavigne, Head Above Water. Now, the reason why I was very choosy on putting it in my best, but it deserved it because she made a good effort trying to make a good album. And she really did. It's kind of an acquired taste kind of album, and I personally loved it. I thought she did an amazing job with this comeback record she made, which took her 6 years to make this record. So she put a lot of dedication into this, and she was kind of ready to give up until she made the song Head Above Water, where she kept fighting her condition with Lyme disease, with her illness with Lyme disease. And they were pretty solid tracks. The only tracks on here that were not good were Crush, Goddess, those two, and somewhat of Dumb Blonde. Dumb Blonde, the only reason why it's not good is because of Nicki Minaj in the song. But moving on. At number 9, we have I Prevail, Trauma. Now, this album was amazing. It's got a lot to offer. The only track I did not like on here was probably Rise Above It. DOA, I'm starting to get used to listening to it now. It's growing on me, but it's still a cringe-worthy kind of song in some areas of the song, but it did really good. I did like Gasoline. I did like Bow Down, Paranoid, Breaking Down, Every Time You Leave, Hurricane, which they came out with a new music video for it, I think today, which that song was pretty good. I do like the Goodbye interlude. That was actually, it was short, but it was pretty good. And the closing track was a good way to close the record. And there is a lot to like about Trauma. It's got dark vibes in it. It discusses more about Brian's mental health and pretty much that he's dealing with depression in some songs. I think I think Breaking Down is the kind of song that's relatable to almost anyone who struggles with depression. But this album was very good, and it made it at my number 9. At number 8, we have Drag Me Out, Pressure. This album was pretty good. However, the first half of the album kind of got a little bit boring and somewhat less entertaining, but it redeemed itself in the second half, and it did a lot better. I personally enjoyed the second half of it, and I think my favorite songs on here have got to be what is it? Promise, Sacrifices, and the last song, I don't know. I'm Sorry or whatever is a pretty solid single. It's not a bad single. The first half of the album's not bad. It's the first track that kind of makes you hesitate and kind of makes you want to worry a little how the album's going to turn out, because it's not really a great track, but it's not a terrible track. And yeah, Drag Me Out, Pressure made it at my number 8. Number 7 is In Flames, I the Mask. Now this track was not track, I meant this album. There's a lot of raw emotion in it, and the Voices song was really good. He does scream, however, the lead singer. I don't know the lead singer's name. You might have to remind me in the comments below. But this album was amazing, and it's probably one of the best albums this year, or on the best albums of 2019, and it will be on my top 20 of 2019, definitely. And there was a lot to like about this album. I like how it opens up with Voices. My favorite song was We Will Remember. This Is Our House. Follow Me. What else? In This Life. And the final track, Stay With Me. Those were great songs. All the Pain wasn't bad, but it was still a good song. I liked the I Can't Be Alive. That part in the song it just made me like it a lot. And yeah. At number 6 is Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? This album was so dark, it was weird, it was strange, but it was also entertaining at the same time. And it did a great job pleasing me, for the most part. My favorite tracks on here was Listen Before I Go, which I never really dived into what the meaning behind the song is about, but I had to watch other reviews in order to find out what it was about. It's about her taking her own life and all that. Like, she wants someone to listen to her and someone to help her, but no one's there to help her, and so she takes her own life, which is really sad and depressing. But at the same time, the song, she brought a lot of light to the subject of suicide and all that, of people wanting to contemplate suicide. And this song can pretty much help someone get through their depression. I think it kind of helps manage it or whatever, or alleviate some of the pain that you're feeling. But enough with the depressing talk about depression and suicide. This album was very good. Track number 8, the song 8, was weird. It wasn't terrible, it just, with that baby voice she made in the beginning, it just wasn't that good. But overall, this pretty much this whole album was really good, and it made it on my number 6. I'm gonna have to come back at you for the second part of the top 10 best albums of 2019. I was only able to fit 10 through 6 for this first part, because I pretty much discussed mostly about why I like these albums and why I put them at that spot. Or majority wise, I talked about that. But comment below, let me know what you thought of this review for the first part of it, and I will return to you for the second part. So I'll see you in the next video.